Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. And for Dogecoin I also have currently a long trade ongoing. So things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. Let's just start with SUI. So for SUI we have set in bright blue, falling wedge, broke to the upside. Everything looks good. And once we break the $3.56 to the upside, positive. We can even reach for prices up to $385 US dollar, $3.93 US dollar, and $3.85 US dollar. So the breakout wasn't good. It even failed for a SUI, which isn't a huge issue. We didn't invalidate the bullish scenario yet. We can just take the target, which we had since the breakout point, and we put it here to the lowest point where we are going to go. And then the target is going to get optimized a bit to the downside, so less profits, but still everything looks good to me. We still have to look for, that's why we'll go into the 4-hour chart. If we are keep dropping, then the target might be even here, this fair value gap. If this is going to happen, then my actual scenario gets invalidated, the bullish one. And then we even have to see if we break the $3.08 to the downside, because if yes, then we can drop a lot to the downside. I would even say $2 is possible for SUI. So if we go into the 50 minutes chart, then you can also see that we have here fair value gaps. They didn't get closed. So it is kind of dangerous. In my opinion, we shouldn't see them. It is just my opinion. And I would also say I'm ready for long positions very soon, but we have to break the $3.42 to the upside. Then I would even say we have good chances for a bigger price movement to the upside, even though it is just a small breakout then, but it can get into a bigger one over the time. So let's just jump into Avalanche. So for Avalanche, we have set $21.81 if they break to the upside. First target here at $22.63. So let me take this one out. My scenario of that falling wedge, which we also have in bright blue, it was a bit too bullish. We even got a good push from the breakout point to the top. It was 10% in a very short time, but we didn't get into the maximum extension. We missed 60 cents, which should be a few percentages, maybe 5, or no, even closer, 2% just. So basically 10% could have been made if we don't take profits and we wait for the full 12%. Then you can see it, profits would be almost gone. I think from now, just 2% left, so always taking profits is smarter. We also have seen here an head and shoulders formatation, and this directs us into the $21.30. So remember that price mark, please, because if we lose this support, and that's why I will make this one red, not like this, but like this. So if we lose that support, we have to go into the past, and we had a rectangle. Here's the rectangle. It has two targets. First one to the upside, the other one to the downside. To the upside we worked it off, we even went far more bullish, and that's what I've also said about SUI, that we might just have a small pattern breaking to the upside, but it can actually develop to something bigger. I can take this one out, but on the downside, the rectangle is still active at $21 is the target. If we lose the $21.30, then I actually doubt that we are just going to see this target right here at $21 and from here push up. I actually think that once we break it to the downside, get into the $21, get a retest, then we should see the lower part right here, and right here. A huge fair value gap. Let's go into the 1 hour chart. Then you can see it. Those fair value gaps are not gone in the 4 hour chart. Yeah, one is gone, but another one also is there. So basically there are fair value gaps. And we should close them, in my opinion, once we break the $21.30 to the downside. So this can even be a nice short trade. But for now, it still looks bullish to me. Everything looks good. But we also have, from our rising wedge in the past, we still have the target ongoing at $19.85. I was thinking maybe this was here the low and we don't get into the maximum extension. I was actually looking for getting into $19.85 because we would have closed at least one fair value gaps out of it, and then the chance of dropping there again is lower. Yeah, but now let's see, $21.27. If they break to the downside, then it's actually short to me. So what about HBAR? HBAR also worked. We had here our falling wedge, which broke to the upside. Target was here the 25.6 cents, because here was the resistance. We got rejected there. So basically, let me take out this pattern. This one worked pretty good. But we have also said that we might have an inverted head and shoulders formatation. We didn't even break it to the upside, and we have speculated for this part, because this wasn't on the chart when I said that this can actually develop like an inverted head and shoulders formatation. It didn't do what I wanted to get. I wanted to see actually a pullback and afterwards the breakout. Then it would be clear inverted head and shoulders formatation. This didn't work like we speculated for. But the red trend line which we have on the chart is still there, 23.1 cents. If we lose it, HBAR short to me. And the thing is, this can be here a double top pattern. This can also here be an head and shoulders formatation, just with two tops, but it also counts as a head and shoulders formatation. So basically, if we lose it, first target 20.3 cents, second target 17.9 cents. So if we lose the 23.1 cents to the downside, then I would actually consider taking short positions. But as long as we don't break it to the downside, it still looks good to me. And 25.6 cents would be the breakout to the upside. So for HBAR, I can't do much at the moment. I have to wait for those two key levels, which are far from another. So basically no chart pattern here in this market stage. We have to wait for HBAR getting 8.5% to the upside, or 2.25% to the downside to take some confident action. Otherwise, it would just be something like this. We don't know what's going to happen, not with my setup at least. And then we are just going to blindly, I would even say, we bet just our money. Yeah, and doing gambling. And I don't want to do gambling. I want to get at least some evidence in form of chart patterns. Why is this trend line green? It looks like that this one can actually develop like an inverted head and shoulders formatation, but for that we should see the bounce soon. I don't want HBAR to sell off and get here the bounce. Then it would be a double bottom pattern in my opinion. It also works, but once we lose the 23.1 cents, then we can actually hope, but we have to expect far lower prices, that this was here the whole left shoulder, this is going to be the head, and this is going to be the right shoulder. That's what I don't want to see. It would be even more bullish in the future, but yeah, we have to see. We have to see. Those two key levels are kind of interesting. So I have said that I'm long for Dogecoin. And yes, my stop loss is not far away. It was somewhere here, I think. Lower than the lows here. So a bit like this. Close, very close. So why did I take a long trade for Dogecoin? Let's go into the 1 hour chart. We see, and now it looks very messy. I need to delete something. We see this falling wedge in yellow broke to the upside. We see, what is even the next one? This bright blue falling wedge broke here to the upside. The orange falling wedge, the bigger one, broke to the upside. So all those falling wedges broke to the upside. I can delete the yellow one. Why that? Because the target was here at 21.1 cents. Yeah, we always take the resistance. We went there. So let me take this one out. Now it looks a bit more clean. So what I speculate for is actually that we just got a second retest of the bigger falling wedge in orange. I will show you that. In orange, we have the bigger falling wedge. So basically what that means is we need to take the target and put it now to the lowest point of the retest. And the target now is not going to be that high anymore. It's going to be the 24.8 cents right here. And the fair value gaps are starting from 23.5 cents. So what I have to here is a box with some lines on it. So basically what that means is for every line here, I take, for example, 10% out of the trade. So over the time, here maybe 20%, here maybe 30%. So over the time, I want to take profits within that area because I don't know if we're going to sell off like this, if we're going to sell off like this, or if we even sell off from up here or break it to the upside. Since I don't know it, I actually want to take profits step by step. But first, let's get there, right? So I already took my long position when we got here the retest. So with the third candle right here, or even the fourth one, I was sure, okay, this looks more like a retest. We look into the RSI. The RSI was overbought, not for a long time, but it went into the overheated area, and we got a nice cool down with this small correction. So what I think is we have now space to the upside. That's why I took a Dogecoin long position for the retest. And if we go into the 50 minutes chart now, then you can see a green trend line on the chart. It's our X long line. If it breaks to the upside, then I would increase my position size far earlier. And then I would have 2 positions for Dogecoin down here. And once we break more levels to the upside, I can increase my position size again. Then I have fourth of my like 4x on my position size. And then we can see if we see more chart patterns breaking to the upside in the future. So far, it also looks like an inverted head and shoulders formatation. For that, first we have to break the 20 cents to the upside. Then I think the chance is very high that we should see the 21 cents. There's the resistance. If we also break it to the upside, then the pattern is going to get activated. Target 22.4 cents with the fair value gaps up to 23.5 cents and above up to 26 cents. So this is my current game plan. I have my stop loss for Dogecoin right here. So if it's going to get hit, then I'm actually going to wait a bit longer for taking new trades. Then it was just a loser trade. And then wait. Maybe it's going to break even to the downside, the red trend line right here at 18.8 cents. Then we are going for the fair value gaps, which we have down below And yes, this can be a huge sell-off in my opinion. So with that said, we see each other in the Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO update.